Hi, this is Miss Goodale, and today we're moving on with our area to find the area of a composite figure. We've talked about all of the different types of shapes on this sheet. You can refer to my other videos for those. Now we're moving on to composite figures, which is a figure made up of two or more simpler figures. And if you'll notice, I don't have a formula on the sheet for that because it could be made up of any combination of these different figures, and some of them could be added together, some of them could be taken out. So there's no set formula. You have to use a little bit of reasoning for those. So for example, I might have a rectangle and a triangle put together to make a shape. I may have trapezoids combined with a square, or I may have a rectangle with a triangle cut out of it. Any combinations, and they don't always necessarily have the lines drawn on the inside. I've done that just to kind of show you what the shapes are. And so let's go over the steps to solving. So the first thing you're going to do is find the area for each individual shape. You have to figure out what the shapes are, find the area for each of those shapes, and then if they're all combined, like in these two, all you have to do is add the areas together. If there's something taken out, or like an empty space there, then you're going to subtract any of the areas that form an empty place. So let's look at the first example. This one has a couple of shapes combined, a trapezoid and a square, and then it has a triangle cut out of it. So first I'm going to find the area of my trapezoid, and the area of a trapezoid again is 1/2 base plus base times the height. And so my bases are 5 and 7. So 1/2 times 5 times 7, and then my height is 3. So 1/2 times 12 times 3, and 1/2 of 36, which is 18, and that's labeled in feet squared. My second shape is a square. That one's pretty easy. It's just side squared, so 7 squared, which is 49 feet squared. My triangle is 1/2 base times height. Base and height are 2 and 1. So 1/2 times 2 times 1, 2 times 1 is 2. 1/2 of 2 is 1, and that's 1 foot squared. So then I just have to figure out how to combine them. Since these two are shaded, those are added together. So we have 18 plus 49. And then after we add them together, we get 67. We take out this one because it is an empty space. So we take out the 1, and so we should get 66 feet squared is the total area for that composite figure. Let's do one more. I'm going to try to keep this quick so that we can fit it all in the video. Now this one has shapes that are just combined. There are no gaps, there's nothing missing. So all we're going to end up doing with these is adding them together. So first we have a trapezoid, and the area of a trapezoid again is adding the two bases, multiplying by the height, and multiplying that by 1/2. So 1/2, and 11 times 15 is 26 times 5. So we have 1/2 times 26 times 5, and that is 1/2 times 30, which is 65, and that is labeled in centimeters squared. Parallelogram is simply base times height. My base is 15 here, and my height is 5, so that's just 15 times 5, and that gives me 75 centimeters squared. And the last one, a triangle. My area is actually base 1/2 base times height. Now, it doesn't have a base labeled, but I know that this is a parallelogram, which means that this side is the same length as this side, which means that this side is also 15. And I take that times my height, which is 6. So that ends up being 1/2 of 15 times 6, which is 1/2 of 90. And 1/2 of 90 is 45, and that's in centimeters squared. And again, I said that these are all just going to be combined. So I'm just going to add my 65 plus my 75 plus my 45, and that should get me 185 centimeters squared. I know I went through that fairly quickly. If you need to go back through, rewind the video, pause the video as needed to go over these. I tried to go over it fairly quickly just so that it would fit in one video. Let me know if you have any questions. I know I just went over a couple of examples instead of a lot. So please feel free to ask questions and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.